Today I'm watching a Patreon sponsored video. It is the 1982 film Tron. So thank you so much for all your Patreon support, and if you're curious about sponsoring a video, be sure to check out the link in the description below. I've seen the remake of Tron, so I have a vague idea of what the story is. I haven't seen it in a long time. I think I watched it once when it first came out in like 2008 or something like that. I'm very excited to finally watch the original. I've also seen the Family Guy skit about Tron, so I'm very excited to finally watch the original. I believe Jeff Bridges will be in this. I know he was in the new version, and I feel like I remember reading that he's in the original as well. And I love him. I think he's a great actor, so I'm excited to see some of his earlier work as well. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me, and thank you so much for sponsoring this Patreon video. Like I said, if you want to sponsor Patreon videos, be sure to click the link in the description, or if you want to vote on movies I watch, you can do that on Patreon as well. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you're ever curious about what gear I use or what's on the bookshelf, I've included a link in the description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. So 80s with the title and the way that you're spinning into it and seeing these graphics. Yeah, I love it. I believe Flynn's was the name of the arcade and the remake as well.
All right, give me room. Here we go.
Yes, light cycle. Yes. Yeah, and it's a one-player game, if I remember correctly, and you play against the computer. I believe these graphics, someone mentioned, are computer generated. Comment below, is that true? How are they done? I love learning about that stuff, so comment below and let me know.
Down here to play games. Who does he calculate he is?
Okay, so this master control character is scooping up all these programmers.
Check everything in the right hand column.
Yeah, and I like that their names are Ram and Crom. That's fun.
Tank rolling. I'll try to cover you from this end. Go.
I think it's so cool that they gave like the computer programs like characters, and yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Yeah, and it's such a cool idea to have a movie about the inside of a computer and the inside of a game. Yeah, really cool. Pew 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 pew!
I was
Oh, bye, Clue. Oh no! And like the costumes are cool. Yeah, it's like, how would you dress up like a computer part? NCOM? Okay. Oh, his desk is a computer? That's fun. Is he master control? I heard him say Dillinger at the end of that last scene.
Cute.
End of line.
End of line. Okay, yeah, so this Flynn character is looking for this file, and it has been for some time, it sounds like. Tron program unavailable. Hey, that's the name of the movie. I've never attempted to program a computer, or I've always been curious about coding and programming, but I've never attempted it, so comment below, is this accurate if you know about computer programming, or is this just completely made up for movies? Honestly, I thought Tron was like the name of the game, or maybe one of the name of the characters, but now it's this program. Okay. Is this concept based on a book or anything like that? Comment below and let me know. They're trying to transport this orange? Okay.
I've been thinking about breaking into the system ever since Dillinger canned him.
Okay, he used to work here? Okay. Space paranoids? Is that like Space Invaders?
How'd you do it?
Oh,
I'm not used to seeing him without a beard.
Invented called Space Paranoids.
Okay, he created this game.
All right, now we take you 3 months later. Dillinger presents Income with 5 video games.
Oh, he stole his video games. Oh no.
Change the names, man.
Oh.
These memories.
Yeah.
Here's the evidence. If I
Yeah.
got in far enough, I could reconstruct it.
Right. He can prove that he created the game.
Shall we dance?
Okay, yes, they're gonna try and get this access and see if they can find that file that he was looking for, which proves that he's the one who actually created this game.
Walter, it's getting late. I've got better things to do than to have religious discussions with you.
This guy sucks.
Don't worry about Encom anymore. It's out of your hands now.
What a jerk. Evil guy stance. Yes, yes.
I don't think I'm
plotting.
for this.
Make these myself. You want one?
I feel like the remake was his son gets sucked into the game or into a computer or something. That's a giant door. My god.
I programmed you to want too much.
I was planning to hit the Pentagon next week.
What?
Pentagon?
What?
It shouldn't be any harder than any other big company.
He's going rogue.
You wouldn't dare.
This computer's gone completely rogue. This master commander is like, I'm gonna take over the Pentagon, I'm gonna take over the Kremlin. It's like, I'd be so much more efficient. Which might be true, but like, it's also a computer, so... So stealthy.
His language file I asked for. End of line.
Doesn't really negotiate, this one. I'm obsessed with that desk, though. So intimidating. And it's cool because it's reflective. Yeah, really cool for a camera angle.
Remember the time we used to spend playing chess together?
Yeah, that's so weird. The computer's like come to life and is like
That isn't
sensing.
gonna do any-
Got it.
I'd like to go against you and see what you're made of.
Oh my.
You don't look a thing like your pictures.
Oh, they are gonna suck him in. They're gonna digitize him.
I'm gonna have to put you on the game grid.
Games. You want games? I'll give you games.
Oh, bye, Flynn. Wow, finger by finger. Oh, that's so cool. They're lasering his whole body. Oh. Yeah, they sucked him into the computer. The files are in the computer. Yeah, like we saw when they digitized that orange, now he's digitized a person. Yeah, the computer's like, well, I don't like you sending me all these problems I can't solve, so let's battle face to face, basically. End of line. I imagine if he dies in the game, he dies in real life.
There isn't anybody.
I'm curious, how did they make these costumes? And like, yeah, comment below and let me know. It seems like Gladiator, like they're gonna make him fight to the death, basically.
Hey, there's been a mistake. I gotta see the guy in charge.
You will.
Yeah, and he seems to be like the only user. Typically they have these games with programs. I'm enjoying it so far. I like the graphics. I know it's 80s and it's kind of clunky, but I like it.
Which will result in your eventual elimination.
They want him to be loyal to the Master Commander, not the user.
You will be subject to immediate de-resolution.
Oh my, de-resolution. Would that work on a user, or would that have to be a program that would even...
Hey, who's that guy?
That's Tron. He fights for the users.
Hey, that's the name of the movie. Yeah, Tron's the watchdog program, so yeah, he'd be fighting for the users, okay.
That's pretty good.
Watch this.
That looks like a frisbee?
That's normal in transport. It'll come back to you.
Yeah, he's not telling them he's a user and not a program.
That's it. Good luck, Flynn.
And like this very simple color palette of red and blue, and them being gray.
Sell to ring gang.
I don't know if that was because of graphics at the time, it was just easier to have the very simple, basic colors. Like lacrosse? What are they doing?
Something different about it.
Yeah, and like visually I think this is so cool, like the way the circles are laid out and the way they're glowing and like even the sound effects.
Okay, here's an easy one.
Oh, spin move. Oh shoot, you can fall off the circles? What? Yeah, one of them, like, they're both not coming out of there.
Finish the game!
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to hurt this person.
No!
Yeah, he's like, I'm not playing your stupid games. Yeah, this is where they get the bikes. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is what I was waiting for.
This is gold 1 to gold 2 and 3. Split up. Take them one on one.
Okay, I didn't realize they worked as a team. Okay, cool. It's like a game of chicken, basically. And if you run into their trail, you die. Drive very fast in a straight line only. You have to make exact 90-degree turns. It's an interesting concept for a racing game because, like, there's not really a course. There's just this grid that you can, whatever patterns you want to create. Yeah, a maze. So cool. Oh! So cool. Okay, he went through a hole in the game? What?
Send out every game tank in the grid. Get them!
Yeah, that's not what they wanted, obviously. Okay, so they've managed to escape. They're gonna go try and track down this file, I guess.
What's that?
I remember in the remake, I think Jeff Bridges' character lived in a structure like that. What? Water inside the computer? What is this?
Boy, you forget how good the power feels. Till you get to a pure source.
Oh, that's a power source? Oh, okay, I understand. I got it. Just sticking his face directly into the water. I'm curious, why does Flynn have, like, that sash over him or something? He looks like he should be in Robin Hood.
Fire!
Fire! Whoa, blast them! Pew 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 pew! Ah, cool. Oh, is he gonna build the ship? What? Wow, that's so cool. Oh, he's building one of those, I think they called them demons. Oh, he's got a bum leg. No, he's flashing red. No, 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 no.
Ram.
Oh, no. They got him.
I knew you'd escape.
I feel like Yori was in the remake as well.
Circuit that could hold you.
Oh my. I like this bit sidekick character. He's fun. Limited conversation skills, you know, very much yes and no, but still, I like him. This looks like a light bulb. What are these things? Bonked him. Oh, what? He, like, absorbed his color? What?
All right, Yuri. All right.
Yeah, that's so interesting that they're gonna be able to send a message to their user.
You may pass, my friend.
Or I guess it's more that he's trying to get out of behind this master controller, and the master controller is blocking all the communication between the user and the program. Yeah, so if he's able to communicate with his user, he might be able to say, like, I don't know, or whatever his user will tell him to do, I guess. That's so cool. Whoa, invisible bridge. Right, because that disc contains everything that he knows and that he's ever learned. Of course, it's going to be a slow process.
We will not be able to communicate again unless you succeed. Go.
Okay, yeah, so his user created this program on this disk that will erase the MCP. Okay, very cool. But he has to get the disk there first, of course. Bonked him. It looks like something out of Toy Story. Oh, shoot.
It's too far.
They have to jump beams. Whoa!
Creating a jump.
Yeah, that's crazy. Press all the buttons. Yeah, that's such a cool way to see how they would travel. And obviously only in like straight lines. They're not going in circles or anything like that. That was cool.
Tron.
Tron's dead.
No! What? They got him? Oh my gosh.
To the holding pit!
Oh no! They killed Tron? Oh my gosh. Now what are they gonna do?
Please, don't take me.
Oh, bonked it. Oh! Oh, okay, they were just lying.
What's happening?
And Yori is Lora's program? What? What is this? Like a spinning face? What is this? Oh, that's nightmare fuel. Yep. Oh my god, that's unsettling.
I feel a presence. Another warrior is on the mesa.
Oh, the Master Commander is so creepy. Disc fight. Ha 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 ha.
You will each be part of me, and together we will be.
Oh my god, it looks like if they gave the wacky waving inflatable arm to the man's face. Humble break. Oh, he broke his disc. Oh, right in the disc. Oh no, bye. Master Commander's not gonna like that.
All my functions are now yours.
Whoa, what? Should have been practicing discus instead of lacrosse.
Look at that.
Yeah, the Master Commander brought him back to life.
Your user can't help you now, my little program.
Oh, he's giant? Bye! David and Goliath.
Rest.
Not before a quick smooch, though. Yep. Oh my. Only one, though, because it's Disney. Yeah, now he's turned blue. Oh, he hates it. Oh, there's a hole. You can throw the disc. Yes. Yes, they got him. Yeah, so Tron was able to defeat the Master Commander. Okay. Ah! Yeah, now they'll back to be calling it like a free space, basically what he called it, where they're not controlled. Which I guess is like roses and sunshine and happy times for computers. Wow, yes! So 80s.
We did it!
We knew you could, Tron. We knew you could. Original program written by Flynn. Yes. This information priority 1, end of line.
Priority 1.
He did it. This movie I feel like has like a stick it to the man mentality, you know, like trying to beat Master Commander's this evil overlord, and he's trying to get back at his boss who stole his creation from him. I'm curious how they made that desk. In the remake, Flynn's been stuck in the game, and his son comes looking for him, but in this, like in the original, he escaped, obviously.
Greetings, program!
Yeah, now I imagine he's pretty wealthy considering he gets all the revenue from that game, and that game was super successful. And hopefully they fired Dillinger and reinstated Flynn. So that was my first time watching the 1982 film Tron. Again, thank you to the Patreon sponsor who supported this video. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm very curious to learn more about how they did it, the graphics, what they used, the costumes, everything. I'm really into it. I think it's super cool, and especially given the time frame, they must have had some creative problem solving, and yeah, I love learning about that behind the scenes stuff. So comment below. Yeah, like I said, I'm very excited to learn more about it, but I had seen the remake, so I had some idea of what was happening, but this felt like it took a different approach and didn't really line up with the remake. I don't know if the new version was well received. I know I enjoyed it, but I hadn't seen the original one, so I didn't really have anything to compare it to, so I know I'm kind of doing this backwards. I love Jeff Bridges, so I was very excited to see him in this film, and it's like I said, it's hard to recognize him without a beard, because that's usually, I think that's his signature look now, but obviously he was much younger when this film came out. And Jeff Bridges is playing this character of Flynn, which is also the name of the arcade that he owns, or I'm assuming he owns it, or his family owns it or something. And we find out he's recently been fired, and this film definitely felt like it had like a stick it to the man mentality, where he's going after, both in the real world and the computer world, where Flynn is going after his boss to get the file that proves he did in fact create this video game, and that he has the intellectual property and that it's his, and his boss just stole it from him basically and then fired him. So yeah, he's trying to track that down and, like, in a way sticking it to this giant corporation, and even the guy who's in charge now is being rude to the person who helped found this corporation and is threatening to send him back to the garage where he, I'm assuming, started this little company in his garage, like most major tech companies we know now started in a small garage somewhere and grew and grew and grew. And this Dillinger guy is now saying, you know, like, I'm the boss, we're doing things my way, and obviously has no problem stealing important information from his employees. And then we also saw that on the computer side, where the programs are fighting against this master commander who's just scooping up any free program and making them fight to the death, basically, which, I mean, you could again relate to the real world and working, how you're competing against fellow co-workers, especially in the tech industry and other companies and stuff. So it was an interesting comparison for sure. I thought there would be more gaming side of it, or maybe that's just, I have seen a few photos and I have seen the Family Guy skit where he's racing on those light motorcycles, the light cycles. So I guess I thought that would be a bigger part of the film, but it turns out that was just a couple scenes where they're on those light cycles. It was super cool, and like I said, I'm very excited to learn more about how they did it. And I thought it was interesting the way the master commander would decide to which programs would live and which ones would get de-resed, which I imagine just means they are no longer valid and that they can't function anymore. I thought it was interesting the way the Master Commander was using games as a way to determine which programs would get to stay and fight another day, basically, and which ones would be de-resed. I'm not a computer programmer, but that doesn't sound good. And the way he's just scooping up all these free programs and isn't putting them to use, he's just using them to kind of build his empire and make them fight against each other so that he can find out the strongest program. But it also doesn't really care who survives. He just wants to become powerful and wants to attack the Pentagon and the Kremlin, and he just wants world domination, basically, this Master Commander. And again, you could compare that to Dillinger. If Dillinger is the user of Master Commander, then they obviously have those similar traits, as we saw with Tron, and his user had similar traits, and Flynn and Clue had similar traits. But the way of using games to basically eliminate these programs I thought was interesting, considering games are typically viewed as fun, and especially when computers first came out, games would have been pretty straightforward. So it was interesting that that's what he chose to decide who stayed, basically. I enjoyed the graphics. I know they're obviously dated now, but it was still cool to see, and like the way that they visualized it, they're conceptualizing the inside of a computer. So to me, this was their version of what the inside of a computer would look like. Again, you could go many different ways with that, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting, and it was a cool idea for a film. Like I said, I don't know if this is based on a book or anything, but to have the film take place inside of a computer, I feel like, especially in the 80s, that would have been a pretty lofty thing to create. Like, that would have been a pretty high goal, probably similar to when James Cameron wanted to create Avatar and had to put it off till technology happened. If they would have waited for Tron, who knows when it would have been made. I'm definitely glad they made it when they did. And I feel like if you were a computer programmer, if you were into coding and all of that type of stuff in the 80s, if this movie came out, I feel like it just would have spoke to your soul. Maybe there are other movies out there like this, I don't know, but this is the first mainstream movie that I've seen. It's a Disney film that focuses about computers, computer programming, as the character and also the setting of the film. Obviously there are other films with computers involved, but I feel like this was the first one that I've seen that where the computer is the main story, basically. Like everything involves the computer, and even the time they spend in the real world is pretty short. It's only the first 20 minutes at the beginning maybe, and then that last few scenes at the end. But even at the end, like, I made up my own version of how I thought it ended. We just see Flynn getting off the helicopter and like hugging his friends and is like, welcome programmers. So I interpreted that as that Flynn's now taken over Dillinger's spot and is now wealthy because he now has the earnings from that game that he designed. As he mentioned earlier, that game was really popular. So yeah, in the remake he has a son and his son is grown up, so maybe at some point he goes back into the computer and can't make it out again now that he knows how to get in. I'm curious, yeah, if there was, I know there's the remake, but if there had been other sequels and stuff along the way, if they would have explored those stories. I don't know how well this did at the box office. I'm assuming it was a rather expensive film to create. Again, given Disney, they usually have larger budgets for their films already, but with all the stuff that was going on and the costumes and just, I feel like it would have been very heavy in the filming process and also in the post-production process, would have been very time consuming as well. I'm curious, was this a video game before? Like, if it wasn't based on a book, was it based on a video game, or did they just want to create marketing for and promotion for the movie and create a video game after? Because I'm pretty, again, when I watched the remake, I feel like he was playing the video game of Tron at Flynn's, and that's how it started. And it was interesting, and I think it's a cool concept to think that there's this like unspoken bond of loyalty between users and their programs, as that seems to be what's driving them. And when Flynn shows up and he's a user, they're like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, you're not supposed to be here. And the programs are trying to communicate with their users, but this master commander is blocking them from doing that, basically, as he wants to shut down any communication. And Tron, being the watchdog program, is trying to eliminate stuff that's not supposed to be there. I thought it was a cool way to visualize that if you are a computer user and there's programs you use every day and that you rely on, or even if you're a coder and you're a programmer and you create a computer program, I feel like there would be, you know, it would be your baby. Like, you would be very proud of this program that you created, especially, you know, if it's starting from scratch and you're creating it from your mind and just using the knowledge you have, and then that program goes out into the world and other people use it. I feel like that would be similar to like other artists, with like painters and their paintings, you know, musicians and their songs. Like, I feel like this was the first time I think that niche had been represented. Maybe that's a better way to say it. I'd like to think that maybe in the computer world, that if the computer was alive and it had feelings and thoughts, it would somehow be loyal to its user. If programs could have thoughts and feelings, I hope they would be loyal to their users, and if not, at least their programmers, considering the programmers are the ones that created them. Again, it's such a cool thing to think about. Again, if your computer was alive, what would it do? And if you got sucked into your computer, you know, what would that look like? As we saw, Flynn was digitized and sent into his computer and had to fight his way out. And I really liked their wardrobe, like the costumes they were wearing with the lights and stuff. That was super cool and visually obviously exciting to look at. I noticed once they were inside the computer, it was a very simple color palette of just their gray suits, with the blue or the red, basically. And if you're blue, you drive a blue car, and if you're red, you drive a red car. And then they had yellow at some point as well. But again, all primary colors, very basic color palette. And I don't know if that was just because of the technology at the time, or they just wanted to keep it very simple. But I thought visually it still looked cool. It doesn't have to always be these crazy colors. I thought that scene where Flynn is being digitized into the computer was so cool. It definitely reminded me of like we're using a computer very early on, and like things load like line by line, and that's how he's being scanned in line by line into the computer, and they kind of start at his head and go down to his feet. And I thought that was really cool. Just like transformation of real world Flynn to the digitized computer version of Flynn. I thought that was interesting, and I feel like if you used a computer in the 80s or even earlier, you would probably remember how slow things would load, and it would be line by line. I feel like if they did that scene nowadays, it would just be one full thing and then it would be quickly uploaded. And even when Tron is sending his ID disk to the user to get the message out like, hey, we're trying to take down the Master Commander, put something on this disk so that I can go to the Master Commander and take him out, basically. We see it load, and then it loads a little more, and then it finally goes. I don't know if that was just to the sake of building tension through the movie or if they were making fun of how slow computers were. I thought the sets were really cool, even from like Flynn's arcade, which is huge, vast space with all the games and being a busy evening. And again, I think arcades were a lot more popular in the 80s. I don't know how popular they are freestanding arcades, maybe if they're mixing with other stuff, but I don't know how popular arcades are today, as most stuff is now online and digital. I also really liked that desk in Dillinger's office. It was very intimidating, just a giant black desk, and he obviously had computers underneath and screens underneath where he would get his information. That's how he talked to the Master Commander. And even when the guy was sitting on the other side of the desk, he was able to pull up photos and show him stuff on the other side. It was just really cool, and I like that it had a reflective surface so that when he's, you know, sitting at his desk, you see him here and also reflecting on the desk just to make him look even more intimidating. I thought the sound effects were really cool when we see Flynn on that ring platform and he's fighting that other guy in lacrosse. The sound effects sounded very much like something out of a video game. Thought the wardrobe was really cool with the lights, again, a really visual, eye-catching thing. And I thought the sets were really cool. Again, when we're in the game, I don't know if it was 100% all computer, if it was a mix of computer and hand-drawn, if it was a mix of green screen. So please comment below and let me know. I'm very curious to learn how they did that. I feel like if the film would have been released today, it would have been heavily relying on computer graphics, obviously, as that's how most of the stuff is done now. But in 1982, I don't know how advanced computer graphics would have been, but yeah, I'm very curious to learn and find out. I like that scene where it looks like they found I thought it was like a pool of water, but it was a power source, I guess, and they're just drinking from this power source because they're so excited to be literally recharged with this power, and I thought that was a cool way to represent it. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was such an interesting idea to have this guy be unwillingly transported into the computer, and the computer also has this guy who's controlling everything and is making the programs fight against each other. And I feel like to create a film like this, you obviously have to have a pretty good sense of computers and how computers work. I didn't find it overly confusing. I'm not a computer programmer, but they explained it in a way that I feel like every person who's watching this would be able to understand. You know, you've got users, you've got programs. Like, I feel like they kept it simple enough for people who didn't know anything about computers would still understand, but I'm sure there was mentions of other tech stuff in there that I missed because, like I said, I'm not a computer programmer. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I finally watched the original. I wish there was another remake coming out because I'm curious to see what would look like now if someone took another shot at it, or even a sequel. But thank you so much for sponsoring this Patreon video. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Yes, light cycle, yes! Is he master control? Space paranoids, is that like Space Invaders? They're lasering his whole body. Oh my, de-resolution. Drive very fast in a straight line only. You have to make exact 90-degree turns. What? Water inside the computer? What? Right, because that disk contains everything that he knows. And